Okay, so we're going to read Flexible Work Trends. What can we expect in 2017? Can you describe what you see here in this picture? Can you describe this picture?
Yeah, I see together, and she's reading a paper, and there is a laptop in front of her.
Very good. So there's a laptop sitting in front of her. She's reading a paper. And since we know that the title is Flexible Trends, she's probably looking over maybe a resume of sorts. Now, let's look at now more than ever. Can you read this? Now more than ever.
Yeah. Now more than ever, US workers expect to be able to have a balance between work and life. Work hours and demands on employees have increased, while family and personal demands have remained the same, if not increased as well. As a result, many people are choosing to exit the traditional workforce to start companies and work for themselves in order to create a flexible schedule.
Okay, let's take a look at just this paragraph. Let's just take a look at this paragraph and talk about this paragraph and what this paragraph means. What workers is this article talking about? Workers where?
Yes.
That's right, the workers in the US. And what is the expectation now? What is the expectation of US workers?
Yes, to be a balance between work and life.
Okay, to have a balance between work and life. What does the word balance actually mean? What does this word balance mean?
Yes. Balance means that work will not affect their life and their life will not affect their work.
Very good. So it's like 50% work, 50% personal life. Yeah. Now, what has increased on employees? What does the article say has increased on employees?
Yeah, working hours.
The work hours. The work hours has increased.
Yeah.
And what about the family time?
Yeah, remained the same.
Very good. It has remained the same. And as a result, many people are choosing to exit traditional workforce to start companies. What is another word that we might use if we say people are doing something by exiting the traditional workforce? What are people doing? What are they doing? It isn't in here, but if they're exiting the traditional workforce, what are people now doing more of? You may not know the answer and you might. What do you think people are now doing? What are people now doing?
Yeah, it's a new word. Entrepreneurs.
Entrepreneurs. People are now becoming entrepreneurs. Do you know what an entrepreneur is?
No.
Okay. Okay. What is an entrepreneur? Okay, so let's talk about what an entrepreneur is. An entrepreneur is someone who works for himself or herself. That's what an entrepreneur is. Let's see. So we can say answer. So we've talked about DIY projects, DIY, which is do it yourself.
Yeah.
So for example, I am an entrepreneur. I work for myself. I teach from home. Can you think of any entrepreneurs?
Yes, for example, to have a restaurant or to have a store.
Example of an entrepreneur. And would be someone that owns a restaurant. Excellent. All right. So people are exiting the traditional workforce, maybe to do things like have a restaurant, or maybe work for themselves. That's what they're doing. And what does it, when they work for themselves, what does this allow them to do? What does this allow them to do when they work for themselves?
This is when yes, create flexibility.
It creates a flexible schedule.
Yeah.
Okay, we've broken down this one paragraph, and we'll practice speaking about this one paragraph. So as we practice speaking about this one paragraph, what are some things that we can say about this one paragraph? What are some things that we could say?
Yes, for me, I would say that the working or the traditional working is has a negative effect on the personal life. So the trend now is moving towards private work or becoming entrepreneurs.
Okay, the trend is to become an entrepreneur. Excellent. So the traditional work is changing, and the trend is to become an entrepreneur, such as opening up a restaurant or doing something that you enjoy for yourself. And I gave my teaching online as a good example. Okay?
Yeah.
Any questions about that so far?
No.
Okay, super. Great answers there. Of course, we're going to come back and revisit our answers. Now we're going to look at the next paragraph. If you're trying to figure out,
You are trying to figure out the advantages and shortcomings of flexible work arrangement today. This interviews Sarah Southfield, CEO and founder of Flextime, will give you a good idea of the flexible work landscape and what to expect in 2017.
okay, so here they've used some very interesting words in this discussion. So we're going to look at shortcomings. We're going to look at flex jobs. We're going to look at work landscape, and maybe look at flexible. All right, and founder. We'll look at that word. So here we have shortcomings. What does the word shortcomings mean?
I think it is the goals or the direct goals or the goals that achieved in a short time.
Not exactly. So shortcomings means that it was not enough. It's insufficient. Shortcomings is insufficient, not enough. Someone needs to do more.
Yeah.
Shortcomings equals insufficient, not enough. Need to do more. Okay, so that's what insufficient means. So let's take a look at why it means that. If you're trying to figure out the advantages means that lots of wonderful things are happening. It's good. Okay, so we're looking at two different things, the advantages and the shortcomings. So if there's an advantage, the opposite of an advantage would be a disadvantage, or it would be a shortcoming. Okay, So they're saying that there are some advantages of having a flexible workforce, but there are some disadvantages to having a flexible workforce as well.
Okay.
So let's look at what some of the advantages are.
Okay.
Well, one advantage would be its flexibility. The flexibility would be a great advantage. So that's an advantage. And let's see, did she give us a disadvantage? Flex jobs. Flex jobs are jobs where perhaps if you and I did the same job, you might work from 8 o'clock in the morning until 12 noon. And then I would come in from 12 noon until 5. That is what is a flex job. I would consider that working part-time, actually. Okay, in this paragraph, it doesn't talk about what the disadvantages or the shortcomings are, but we have certainly identified an advantage. It is to be flexible or flex jobs. This word work landscape, what do you think work landscape actually mean? What do you think the meaning of work landscape is? What do you think work landscape is?
It's like when you call a private sector. I think it is a sector.
Not quite that. So it's just the description of the job. For example, the job may require 8 hours of work, but employees share the job. That would be your flex job. So it's just asking landscape, what does it look like? Landscape means the appearance of something. Okay, so that's what they're talking about. They're talking about what does it look like and what we can expect in 2017. Okay?
Okay.
All right. I'm going to copy this for you so that you'll have it, I think. And let's see, whoever my person is right there. I need to go to cut this person. And let's go to new. My mouse is up here. And I want to cut this here. Copy. I have so many things open. New. New. I just want a new one.
Okay.
My goodness. Open. New. And will it slide over for me? So maybe not, but that's okay. So go down. All right, so there. And put that there. And where is my letter? The article that we're reading. Somewhere we're in there. Behind here, today's news. Yeah. All right, so sharing. Can't find you. And